What's up guys, to another behind the scenes video for Horrorble Dream, our short film for Halloween. Yes! Guys, I think we did it the whole week. I don't know about, I think the first two videos didn't actually work that well. But so far I think it's going well, so good. Carrying on, this video is gonna be pretty pumped up as we are doing color grading. This film didn't have that great color grading, I will admit, but we'll go into why it was bad and what we did. So let's begin. Now, this film had truly nothing special when it came to color grading, crazy color effects and all that. The main idea was basically just an S-curve in contrast, so that gave, more contrast into the image, gave it a really nice look that it came right out of the camera. The main concept of the film was just add a little bit of contrast and add a little bit of blue into the shadows just so it could feel a little bit less brown and that it could just, have a little bit more of a cinematic vibe because out of the camera it looked a little bit like a home video. Now, we used the dope speed grade for all the software heads out there, not gear heads, software heads I guess. We use speed grade for grading as it has a 12-channel color engine which works very well, better than Premiere Pro. After using speed grade for quite a while on a lot of projects, it works way better. Of course, it's not something to just dive into and then start using. It really takes a while. It has a different feel than Premiere Pro. It's not as fast and as, accurate. It's way more accurate. Sorry, screwed that one up. It's just not as fast and snappy. I was meant to say snappy. So, yeah. That's why we use speed grade. If you guys want to go and check out the exact effects that we added to the clip, not effects, but all the color grading, the primaries, the LUTs that we added, go down in the channel below or the video below on Film Shift, which we have a video there talking about how we graded it, all the little things that we added, so go there. Now, the stereotypical way of grading horror would be adding an S-curve inside of your rate range. The rate range usually has a horizontal line like this. Now, I don't know how it looks on camera, so either like this or like this, depending on how it ends up, flipping, thing like that. So I'm just gonna say it like this, for example. Now, usually it would have a range like this, which I'm suddenly thinking that it's not this way on camera, but it's fine. Just bear with me. Now, just for example, here is the red range. Now, you move it up and there's more red in your image. But now you move this down part down, and then you're gonna get more green in your image. So that's gonna be your highlights, that's gonna be your shadows. So it ends up adding a lot of, contrast with the reds and the greens, which gives that really crazy horror vibe. But we didn't wanna do that for this film. A lot of people do that though. So you're gonna go and do that in your next horror film. Looks pretty cool, although I didn't wanna do it for this horror film. I wanted to keep it more of a plain look. Now, before any hate comes for me saying this, we did use LUTs. Now, many professionals use LUTs in the industry. You might be like, what? That's like stealing off someone else's work. Usually people automatically assume that color graders in Hollywood and all that automatically say, okay, let's start from scratch. No, a lot of them actually don't. I know many people on interviews and all that, for I don't know them in real life. That'd be cool if I did, but I don't. But what they usually do is they actually they get a lot of crazy good LUTs and they use that as their starting point. They'll find one with good contrast, good color, and then work their way from there. Now, we didn't do that as much. We use a LUT as our starting point and our midpoint. Our end point was just a little bit of adding blue into the shadows and a little bit more contrast and adding a little less desaturation. So that's what we mainly did. We were playing around with a lot of LUTs until we found one that had good color and good contrast, which it was a Kodak one, I think, and it was also the airy ones, right at the top, the HD one. And as I said, we just really needed to push a little bit of blue into those shadows. You probably don't see it very well on the film, but it felt really brown and it just felt, muddy and all that. Because we wanted to give a little bit of a, plain look, but we didn't want a flat look by any means. Not to mention it looks like a home video when you show it like that. So we added a lot, which on camera, and the video, it didn't look like a lot, you probably didn't even notice it, but it actually was quite a lot, so yeah. Now, this isn't part of color grading, but we did add grain from Vision Color. If you guys don't know who they are a really cool company that supplies LUTs and all that. Of course, a lot of their things are paid, but you can get a 2K pack for free, which has film grains, film effects, all these really, really cool things, which we use their 2K 16mm or 35mm, oh no, it was 35mm, let me get this right. And we used it at 20% opacity. Now, what you do is you go there and then you change your mode to overlay, gets that gray out, change the opacity you want, which we already had a lot of noise in our footage, which we couldn't properly get out with denoiser, so we just left it there and just add a little bit of grain over it. So it ended up looking fine, although I think the image was still a little bit more noisy. I wanted it to have a little bit more of a grainy noise to it. And that was the color grading process. Very basic for this film. Of course, it's more complicated in more films, so definitely check out for some upcoming films. We'll go more into the lighting and the color grading. This film was very, very neutral with a lot of these things, so we'll go into that more later on. So definitely stay tuned for that. But all the links that I said in this video down below. And that's basically it. We're done for the look week of this film, basically. Next week will basically just be the end and we're good. So that's basically been it. If you guys did enjoy this video though, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, in the next video, we'll see you people then.